Hey everybody! My name is Basic Bunny and I am a new YouTuber. And yeah, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about the new Netflix series Ginny and Georgia and the absolute just wildness of it. Like it was just so insane to me. It was unique. It was like an interesting, unique show to watch, but honestly, I thought it was like all over the place, and I know like a lot of other people feel the same way. So I'm going to go through all of my points and talk about the different things that I liked and did not like about the show. So I'm first going to give a disclaimer. I'm going to be giving out spoilers. This video is full of spoilers and it's full of controversial opinions. I but based on just like seeing what everyone else is saying on the internet, my opinions are very different from what everyone else thinks. So yeah, so just be prepared for that. Okay, so and also this show has some triggering content, so there's going to be some of that probably most likely sprinkled throughout this video. So yeah, let's begin. So I first want to talk about Ginny. Ginny is not annoying. Everyone says she's annoying, but I don't think so at all. I think she is not annoying. I don't think her actress is annoying, and both the character and her actress are getting a lot of hate for no good reason other than the fact that people are racist. She's the main character, and she is getting treated the worst out of everyone. She's a flawed teenage girl, and she's not going to make all of the right decisions. If she passed for white, I'm sure she would be glorified and called a baddie. All of the white characters are getting better treatment than her. That's what I've been noticing, like on TikTok or Tumblr or YouTube, whatever. I'm just seeing all this glorification for pretty much all of her white co-stars, except for Ginny herself. Like, people are so annoyed by her, and I'm just like, no, she's literally just portraying like an angry teenage girl. Like, if she was white, I'm sure people would see all of the positives about her character and just feel like a sense of like empathy and understanding for her. People, honestly, I think they just don't want to admit that they hate black girls and that they hate mixed girls and they hate mixed black girls. Like, this is the society we live in. There's a lot of misandry, misogyny, sexism, racism that I honestly think like the fans are putting out there in regards to their Ginny hate. Like, I can understand their points, like the way she like talks to Georgia, but like Georgia fires back, and Ginny's a teenage girl, so like I think she should be cut some slack. Honestly, like she's being held to an unfair standard, unlike her white counterparts who are just as flawed as she is. She's just tired of the craziness. She has emotionally immature and absent parents. She's constantly moving and not developing emotionally like people her own age. I'm sure that just does a lot for her. It's like taking a toll on her. She's even going to, this is a trigger warning for self-harm, but like she's partaking in self-harm, and we see her like struggling with it because she just feels so alone with her issues. And I also wanted to say kudos to the show for accurately depicting experiences biracial people go through. I identify as mixed race myself, and I went through, honestly, a lot of the same things as Ginny. Like, it's actually kind of scary, like, because I did not expect, like, to see versions of myself through this character and just through experiences that she went through. Like, she had a racist teacher. I had a racist teacher, or like racist teachers plural, and she had a racist pharmacist experience when she was getting her birth control. I had a racist pharmacist, or at least passive aggressive experience with pharmacists because of the town I live in, which is honestly a lot like hers with this racism. So I really empathize with the character and what she went through. And I also wanted to point out that I noticed that Ginny always like talks about how beautiful her mother is. I think from episode 1, she just like discusses this and how it's just like a fact in her life. And I noticed that she never directs that kind of positive attention towards herself. I find that deeply sad because Georgia never gave her own daughter confidence like a good parent should. There was one scene when Georgia called Ginny beautiful, and Ginny smiled so bright like it made her day. She clearly doesn't hear that enough from her own mother, which is deeply sad. Next, I want to talk about Georgia. Georgia is everyone's favorite character, but I think she's the worst of them all. Georgia killed multiple people, performed acts of child abuse for laughs, and puts her needs first above her children. She says she does everything for her children and yet takes them along her adventures of craziness. on one hand, I can understand like the last guy that she did that thing to, the bad word to, but because of the way he was like preying on her daughter. So, but like she can't go to the police. I guess she feels like she can't go to the police for like all these other men who she used, but I guess they were in a way using for her beauty. I'm not sure. It just seemed like basically that she finds like these like men that she needs to use for some reason, and then they do something that bothers her, and like she, I guess, feels like she can't go to the police, and then she like takes care of it herself through like very extreme means. So in a way, like I understand why she did what she did to like those multiple people, but it's still just really intense and crazy. And like the fact that like what she does, like her kids have to deal with in some capacity, like they're suffering from the consequences of her actions, whether she wants that to happen or not. So and like she's a grown woman, so like I just feel like she kind of like made all of this happen herself, but maybe at the same time it's like she started these like this killing spree of men over the years, so like that was her own doing. And like she started as a child, so in a way it's like, okay, I can forgive you, a teenage mother, but then like she's a grown adult and she's still doing the same things. Like I feel like I'm sure there's a way she could have like just handled some situations differently as a grown woman, but it doesn't seem like she's going to change anytime soon. And people are very annoyed by Ginny's immature behavior and not by Georgia's. All of the teenage characters are immature on the show and make mistakes because they're still kids. Georgia, on the other hand, is an emotionally immature grown woman who slapped Ginny across the face when she hurled insults at her. Functioning parents would discipline their kids and not emulate the bad behavior their kids display, but Georgia insults Ginny every other episode and it's seen as okay. Next, I want to talk about Maddie, Georgia's sister. So Georgia's sister Maddie betrayed her in a horrible way, putting Georgia and her kids in danger for money, but I understood the pain behind it. Georgia betrayed her first, so this was like her revenge. And honestly, Georgia shouldn't have left her sister in that abusive environment when they were kids, especially since Maddie wanted to escape with Georgia. Next, I want to talk about Zion. Ginny's dad, Zion, is a mess as well. He only wanted to come back and stay with the family for his ex-wife, Georgia, and not for his biological daughter, Ginny. He kept telling Ginny to respect her mother, and she should. Children should respect their parents. But it bothered me because he's trying to act like a father when he's never there, and he doesn't know all of the disrespect and craziness Georgia put Ginny through. Moving on to Joe. Georgia seems to only like unattractive basic men because Joe is literally right there, standing right there in front of her, giving her coffee and pretty much whatever she asks of him. And he, in his like all of his brown glory, like I'm at a loss for words when it comes to Joe. Like I have such a crush on Joe. Like honestly, I have more of a crush on Joe than I have on Marcus, and I'll be getting to Marcus later. Like Marcus is very cute, but Joe is like fine. He is like so just like attractive and like masculine, and just I just love him so much. And like his personality is so sweet, and he's so nice. And he's attractive, and like Georgia just is not about that. Like she chooses the mayor, and like she's chosen other guys like that before. I mean, at least the last guy, maybe the guy before that too, just like rich guys. And maybe I mean it seems like Joe is in a good place financially, but like I don't know. Like, I don't know why there's no romance between them. I don't know why they showed a flashback scene of them as kids only for that to basically mean nothing for season 1. They have so much chemistry. They had easy flirtation between them. Whereas, like, I feel like Georgia and the mayor, like, she had to really, like, woo him. I mean, he liked her from the beginning, I guess. He seemed nice. But, like, Joe and Georgia seem, like, very real with each other. And like playful. It's like very cute. He's like very, very sweet. So yeah, I am a huge Joe stan. So now talking about Mang, which is a disgusting, hideous word. I'm so glad this show brought that up. How nasty the word sounds. It does. It just sounds horrific. But Mang is the abbreviated version of the first names of the girls for their friend group: Maxine, Abby, Nora, and Ginny. And they were a horrible friend group, and Ginny deserved way better friends. So I'm just going to quickly just say how I feel about them. I mean, Maxine was my favorite I mean, she was amazing. I liked her until the last episode, but she was very annoying. Like, she had some very annoying traits and, like, self-centeredness, which, I mean, I guess is normal considering she likes drama, and she's, like, I guess the leader of their group, but, like, yeah, that was her, and Nora barely had a personality. Abby was horrible. I did not like her one bit. And honestly, they treated Ginny like garbage and excused Abby's bad behavior time and time again. So they were in the hallway, and there was one scene when they were all talking. Ginny was right there with them. And then Abby said something like, "Ugh, Ginny again, talking about Ginny again. I'm tired of talking about Ginny." And they all kind of just laughed it off. And I'm like, or like excused it. And I'm like, that is so rude. Like, how do you say that about someone to their face, like right in front of them? And then, like, besides her being rude for like multiple episodes, like, she just basically had a clear hatred for Ginny like the whole time. It even got to the point where, like, she slapped Ginny right across the face in public. For some reason, like, the background characters that we didn't look at, like, no one noticed in the store. And then, like, everyone at their table just gasps, and then Ginny starts laughing, which is weird. Like, that's not realistic. Like, if someone slapped me, I would not just, like, start laughing it off. And then the rest of them laughed it off like it was normal. Like, nothing about that was normal. That should not have been normalized. Like, we were supposed to feel bad for Abby because her parents were getting divorced, but you don't go around slapping people across the face. It doesn't make any sense. And then it's like, it's just too much. It's bad enough Georgia slapped her and Abby slapped her. It's like, what are they trying to say? Like, are black women deserving of physical abuse, of slapping, like, of degradation? Like, I don't like it. I don't like the message that this show is showing, because, like, honestly, the show shows, like, racism is not okay. It's not okay to treat black women this way, black girls, and yet this stuff keeps happening. Like, Ginny's being treated horribly. So, yeah, another reason why I'm a Ginny stan and why Ming is toxic and why I hate Abby. Moving on to Maxine, because I can't even talk about Nora. Like, again, like, she barely had a personality. So now I'm going to talk about how Maxine was one of my favorite characters until the last episode when she got mad at Ginny and Marcus. And I understand why she was mad. Like, she was being lied to, basically, by her best friend, one of her new best friends, and then her brother. But at the same time, I thought her reaction was extremely dramatic. Like, she at first wouldn't even tell Ginny why she was upset. So, like, they just all ignored her, and Ginny's just, like, confused because of this toxicity. It's, like, not healthy, you know, like, for, like, that cutoff of communication, like, giving the cold shoulder, not saying why. Like, that's so unhealthy. And this went on for a little while until finally, like, Maxine was, like, she told her, she was like, I know about you and my brother. And, I mean, I don't think, like, I can understand, again, her, like, being upset about the lies, but, like, it's not, I feel like in real life, like, it's not a big deal. Like, that's an overused trope. Like, if someone dated my brother, I'd be like, okay, go ahead. Like, I wouldn't be that possessive. I might be mad, like, my friend was, like, doing it. I guess, like, the idea of doing it behind someone's back is the bad part, but, like, actually dating someone's sibling, like, should not be a big deal, especially since they're both, like, relatively decent people. Ginny's not, like, harming Marcus, and Marcus isn't harming Ginny, so it should not matter. So, yeah, so I stopped liking Maxine the last episode, but I loved her throughout. She was very fun. She had the most funny jokes. She was always, like, on Ginny's side. I like how she stood up for her in their first class together when the teacher was racist to Ginny. It was really fun. She was good until that last episode. Something else I wanted to just bring up. I mean, this is just, like, a speculation I have, and I don't really have much evidence to back it up. But I'm just thinking, like, one thing I remember Max saying that she was upset about to Ginny was, like, she was upset that Ginny lied to her about being a virgin. And I thought, what if that was one of, like, the real reasons why she was upset? Not the lies about being with her brother behind her back, but, like, the black girl got some first before she did. Again, I don't think that's, like, the reason why the character got so upset, but, like, that is something she brought up. She did say she was upset about, like, Ginny lying about being a virgin, so I'm like, that's interesting. So now, Marcus. His character grew on me throughout the series, and he's nice to look at, but that's all he has going on for him. His whole character is a bad boy stereotype. Nothing about him is original. The fact that he climbed in Ginny's window in episode 1 was the start of many red flags for this character. I only liked him a couple of times, like how he was the last one to stand by Ginny's side and how he cares about her feelings. I also liked how he told Max that Ginny is the more mature one, which is true considering how the characters handled situations. Again, super cute, seems like he's an okay guy, but he's also kind of just there to be eye candy. Another boy we're going to start talking about is Hunter. And he was a good boyfriend at first. I thought he was cute and supportive while also having good boundaries. He was cringy, like when he tap danced for Ginny in front of the whole school. If he tap danced for me, I would probably break up with him. I have no idea what the people were thinking, like the writers. I don't know why they thought that was a cute thing to do, but it was not. It was not cute at all. Anyway, he didn't seem like a bad person. He just seemed cute and cringy. But the Prussian Olympics scene changed my mind about him. He started the fight by saying Ginny causes drama in class when she stands up for herself to her racist teacher. She shouldn't have said that she can speak better Mandarin than him. That was not good. But she was trying to make a point about how he has a privilege that she doesn't have because of colorism. And she tried to explain this to him, but instead of being understanding, he got hostile and tells her that their friend can twerk better than her. I mean, what? When has she ever twerked? These stereotypes, like the ones that he said specifically were just really, I feel like, out there and didn't really, like, it just showed like his views of black people and I guess of black women. And I honestly, like, if that was me, I would have just broken up with him. Like, he clearly doesn't really have much respect. And honestly, like, I was really surprised. Like, outside of, like, their one-on-one time, he seems like a good guy. But it seems like when they're alone, he has, like, a certain edge that I don't appreciate. So that's 1 for Marcus and 0 for Hunter. So, in conclusion, overall, I feel like the show is all over the place. It encompasses so many genres that it's hard to understand what the message of the show is. At the end of the day, is Georgia a character we're supposed to have sympathy for, or is she just cuckoo bananas? All the Ginny hate bothers me because I think that if she was white, she would not get as much hate as she does. She's just a fed up teenage girl who's angry about never having any stability and says the wrong thing sometimes. In conclusion, I can't wait to see what craziness happens in season 2.